Final Fantasy VII Remake is a third-person action-adventure JRPG that goes through the beloved game in a new light and a new direction. It focuses on many stories, plot lines, and points of our main characters and side characters as well. When I first went into the game, the graphics, the movie-like cutscenes, and the multifaceted characters jumped out of the screen. They made their presence known in a very comforting and almost childlike way. With all this being said, Final Fantasy VII also created moments in the game to me that felt lackluster, boring, and a tad trite. It's a big game with a lot to offer, but created doubts in my mind if the game was all it was hyped up to be, or another instance where nostalgia coats the eyes and the hearts of many. What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome to today's review where I'll be diving into Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I played through this entire game, and it took way longer than I thought it was going to take for me to even go through this game. I think it took me, I want to say, at least a week and a half. I started it way before that. I started it like a month ago, and then I just couldn't be bothered to pick it back up again because it was so boring. Hi, how you doing? It's me. Yes, I know my lipstick looks off. I tried to fix it, don't worry. Final Fantasy VII covers topics such as questions of life, political agendas, and the philosophy of life in regards to death and the changing of courses of life through destiny. Throughout the game, the story dipped in and out of all of these concepts with beautifully timed comedy and philosophically driven questions on the meaning of life and how it creates a place and a means of existence within this reality of the game. There we go. I still look like I ate a fudge popsicle, but that's okay. Final Fantasy VII covers a multitude of concepts and different topics in regards to questions of life, political agendas, and the philosophy of life in regards to death and the changing of course of life through one's destiny. To thrive, to be destroyed, to come back again, and while in itself, this is a remake from the game from 1997, and I haven't played that game, don't come at me. It was still interesting to see how all of these different concepts rolled into one for this remake. It was so interesting seeing how all of this played out, seeing as I've never played the original before. Throughout every cutscene and beautifully written line, the philosophy of life in Sector 7 and in the world of this game grew stronger and more impactful. This game, while having many good points to it, also at times was incredibly boring and repetitive, using the same main bosses for 2 chapters, creating nonsensical back and forth switch flipping that could have taken 5 minutes. Instead, it took an hour. Chapters 14 and 17 acted as fillers for this game, and it's baffling how a game with so much life at points felt so dead. Combat was a drag at times and created a barrier between me and the immersion of the game. Yes, it was smooth and had no hiccups, but took me out of the story at times because every encounter you had to force a flee or you had to face to continue. The bosses, however, were some of the most well-utilized and constructed and beautifully designed I have ever seen in a game. They had a purpose and melted into what the story's structure were, blending with it beautifully. When it comes to the Final Fantasy series, there are a lot of games, a lot of stories, and a lot of messages that seep into our brains, making a powerful impact. This game, along with its misses, was beautifully done and set up much like a movie that will play in my head for a very long time. It had heartbreaking moments, funny moments, and created a sense of kinship with the player that made me feel like I had bonded with Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and Barret. You can't change destiny right away, but with a strong will and the right people, the journey won't feel too cumbersome. Guys, that was my review for Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you saw more footage than my actual face, it's because I recorded a lot of footage. The most of the gameplay I recorded. I could have done a walkthrough at this point if I wanted to. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below. I make videos every single day on YouTube, and I also try to post as much as I can on Patreon. We're getting very close to the $100 mark. I don't like talking about Patreon as much because, I don't know, I feel uncomfortable pushing my own Patreon, but I know that as a content creator, I kind of have to if I want to make money for the platform and everything like that, since I'm not monetized on YouTube. But yeah, I hope you guys sign up, and if you choose to sign up, let me know down in the comments below or let me know on Twitter. I always love hearing from you guys. It's just amazing hearing from you guys. But with that being said, stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.